Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer, and we are playing Strategic Command in World War II as the Allies against Nazi Germany. Last time we did play the Soviet turn. This time we want to deal with the Western Allies. And if you remember well, we were in a very strong naval battle over here, where we sunk 2 German ships, although they also managed to sink some of ours. So let's make sure to sort of lick our wounds over here, replace our losses, repair our ships, especially the battleships that did take some very heavy damage during that encounter. And I'm not sure I can reinforce the aircraft over here. I can by 1 point. Let's see about that. So that should all be, relatively speaking, fine. That submarine here needs to come into port so that we can repair it next time. These destroyers down here should be fine for now, I think. Let's take one of these destroyers over here and guard our convoys against towards the Soviet Union, rather, not against. But also our home waters, of course, vis-a-vis the supply lines coming to the UK. Just making sure that there are no submarines sitting on that, and that should be fine actually. So I don't think they will be traveling this low, but let's have a look anyway. On the other hand, the heavy cruiser can come up and sort of patrol the other way. And then we do have a couple of destroyers over here. I guess what we could do is send you in over here and towards that way, and you can be reinforced so that we are sure that we have the maximum amount over there. Unit to be upgraded still to better anti-submarine warfare weapons. I really don't think it's worthwhile to upgrade the AA guns. We haven't really seen the enemy bomb our ships, nor do I think that we want really to use our destroyers in any fashion against enemy shipping. So let's do these upgrades. We have these Canadian destroyers over here. So do we want to send them up over there? I might actually use them in the North Sea, see if there are any submarines over there. And that should, roughly speaking, be fine. Then these carriers over here with the 5 aircraft. I think we can actually send you over here to the Irish ports, and I think that might be okay. And then these guys again can come into Glasgow over here, and you'll be ready to upgrade over there. We also have this battleship which is ready. Could actually have brought you over there. Oh well, that's alright. And these craft should in principle be upgraded, but I'm not sure we should do that now. There's a light cruise over here. Let's scout out whether we find any Germans. Doesn't appear like that, so let's simply bring in our forces like such. Be a strong group over here, provide some air cover, and that should be pretty okay. So yeah, other than that, I don't see the need to do anything over here on the UK itself. I don't think we have too many other forces lurking around. Light cruisers, just making sure there's nothing off the coast of Ireland. Other than that, the UK should be fine in this region. Guessing we could scout ahead a little bit more. But yeah, I don't really feel like it is likely that they are over here. So yeah, these guys are fine, I think. These guys might need to be upgraded, but we'll have to see about that. I guess we could use these naval bombers. Do a reconnaissance flight off the coast of Norway. Nothing there though, so that's alright. Good. In the Mediterranean and Northern Africa, we did lose a group over there. That was not that nice. We do have this ship over here which needs to be reinforced somewhat. These guys could be reinforced by only 1 point though. So let's make sure we can potentially find out more about the Giulio Cesare over here. So we We have brought over the coastal command of the Canadians over here, and I think it would be a good idea to try to bomb this ship. Decent result, I would say. Oh, you could do that again. That's nice. Let's do that again then. Another good result. They actually lost a little bit more than we did. So that is actually pretty good for us. We could bring in our battleship, although I'm slightly concerned that I would rather have these guys be able to move around. So let's actually do that with our carrier over here. Like one strike on the Julius Caesaris, sink it. That is very nice. We have spotted some German artillery. Oh, we did get into unwanted enemy contact over here with the destroyer squadron. There are also these heavy cruisers. Now the heavy cruiser, I'm much more eager to take them on with our own ships. Do you want to destroy the destroyers or the heavy cruiser? Okay, so I'm thinking let's do the destroyer, because it is doing a lot of damage, and that does free up our light cruiser over here. You are exposed, somewhat exposed anyway, so I want to move you in here so we have a better view on these guys. We do have tactical bombers that could do some damage. We could bring in our battleships. We could bring in our heavy cruise over here. Could deal more damage with our light cruisers. But potentially what we should be looking at first is over here. Definitely need to reinforce our special forces. Really should be attacking these tanks. And then with our tactical bombers, what I'm guessing we should do... Guessing what we should do actually is take a swing at the headquarters. But also the Africa Corps over here. Ooh, that was a bad result. Move you back actually a little bit. So, what have we got over here then? You guys can't move out. We should definitely move back the artillery. So can bring in the corps over here. Wouldn't do as much good. If we bring in the tanks, then do the attack. And then do this attack? No, doesn't do too much. Their readiness is really, really high, I have to say. We could strafe some of these guys with our with our fighters. Including the ships, which is interesting. You should probably come to Benghazi itself. Can we reinforce this army? A little bit. Slow going, but still alright. Could bring in the carriers to do some more strikes. But they are very, very beaten up, so... Can we actually reinforce you to any significant amount? We can, and I think we should. So, over here... Yeah, not really much to be done. Except for these ships. Okay, let's bring out our battleship. Let's bomb these guys, or attack these guys. And let's sail you back to port. And that is fine. And then our fighters can attack them once again. Just strafe them, that's fine. Could bring in our submarines. They are damaged, but they might be able to finish the job. Our heavy cruisers over here. Okay, let's use our heavy cruisers against theirs. Without taking any damage. That's fantastic, actually. And we have the light cruisers, we have that other battleship over here, and we do have these destroyers. So I don't really want to use the other battleship. I would much rather like to run it to Gibraltar so that we can reinforce it. Damn it! God damn it. Okay, that is very, very dangerous. Nice! very good result for us over there. So let's bring in this destroyer to guard that battleship, which is now very in a precarious situation. But all in all, I'm still extremely happy about these results. Have you got any strikes left? No. You do, though. You're pretty much the only ship over here that has any strikes left. And you could attack these destroy... Oh no, the light cruiser, of course, itself. Okay, you know what? Let's do that strike. And then bring it back to port. And then... Dangerous. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Feel a little bit cocky doing that, you know. So let's actually not do it. Let's simply reinforce these guys. I think they are very important for us to be able to scout out that area. And one thing that I want to do is bring up these Indian tanks over here towards Northern Africa so that they can start to deal some damage over there. Feeling really bad about the Valiant here. I would ideally have liked to keep it in port. But that doesn't seem to be something that we can do right now. The carrier, we could move them out. But I think it's fine to keep it over here for now. Yeah, and that should settle North Africa. So let's turn our eyes towards East Africa over here. And try to deal some damage on the Italians over here. Where's the supply? Slightly less bad over here. Over here. Ah, would have been so nice to completely destroy you. But no luck for now. Yeah, they'll simply be able to reinforce that, so that is unfortunate. Let's try to keep up our pressure on this garrison unit, because that would allow us to capture more supplies. Ooh. I'm taking heavy damage over there. It can't be reinforced. Could attack, but again, that wouldn't do you any good. Okay, so you need to come back actually. So that you're both covered by these. You are South African. Why don't you actually have that? I don't know. Oh well. It is fine. You could move, but no point really. Just move you in over here. Hope that that does something for us. Right, so that does settle all of Africa now, I believe. Yeah, we do have this funny unit down here. Bring it finally over there. Some Japanese over here, but we're not in war against the Japanese yet, as the Western Allies. Except, of course, China is, so... Let's make sure we are attacking over there. We can also close in on Hanoi, which is now occupied by China. Bring you over here, and then we'll need to switch these guys around every now and then. Canton, you are guarding these supplies. We have that army over here, but that needs to be reinforced. And you guys actually need to be reinforced as well. Wait, do we have new units? Yes, we do, so that's fine. Let's actually move you over here then, and then ultimately we'll be coming around this way. And then we can place one of our new garrison units in Canton. Although actually we don't need that, because it's not a harbour, so should actually be fine. Yeah, all in all, I'm happy about these guys. And up over here, I think we should be able to strike them somewhat strongly, actually. Okay, let's start over here. Good attack. Move you back. Move you up. Destroy that army. Fine. Attack the artillery. Attack the artillery. And there we go. That settles this front. We should of course move a couple of units. Should also upgrade this army to better weaponry. You can move over there. Just move on the railway lines, please. Nanjing, you can move out. I thought you could move over there. Let's move you towards Shanghai. You find where you are. You could potentially force march. Except you can't. I guess due to the supply situation. And you should stay over here, I feel. On this supply depot. Right. Good. Let's get you towards that area down here as well. Simply because I'm not sure we are sufficiently close to conquering that. You should be reinforced at some point, but let's think about that in a second. Let's move up to Pyongyang over here. Move on towards Seoul. That's nice. Can move another unit down there into Korea. And one corps over here to Seijin, towards Seijin, where they do have some fighters, look at that. Do have an understrength army over here. And an army that desperately needs to be upgraded. So, yeah, you are not really doing that great against these guys, even though they are very low on supply. Okay, let's attack. Just to dig them a little bit out. Attack another time. Move you up over here towards Harbin. Move the army in, which will finally be able to do some actual damage. Reinforce this army. These special forces then can come up towards Harbin. Start doing some damage over here. And take the engineers towards over here, so that we can cut these guys off from supplies. And that should be alright. Good. No, I do like that situation as is. We also need to position a new unit over here. Can we place you into Port Arthur? We cannot, so that actually means that we should probably force march you towards over here. And then place the new Chinese garrison over here, so that these ports are safe. Ports need to be safe. Right. Everything else? Oh, these fighters could strafe someone. Doesn't seem to be doing too much, so let's simply reinforce you. And all in all, that should settle it for China. More or less. Could upgrade a couple of things. We do have some points left, so let's see whether we can buy anything. In particular, replace some of the losses that we had. There's one corps that we lost. And there should also be some light tanks that we lost. Are there none? Tanks? Light tanks? I'm sure we lost some light tanks. Were they maybe on too low supply to count? That might be the case. So in that case, I want to hold off on doing too much for now. Sorry, that's not actually what I wanted. I wanted to have this. Yeah, let's reinforce you. No one else really here needs to be reinforced. You, so let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, no one else is fine. So, okay, China is done. Very nice, actually. Down here, that will take some time. Over here, we are making some progress, though, so especially Pyongyang, Seoul is within reach. These fighters are starting to be threatened. And that is indeed very lovely. And I think we will be able to take that very easily up there. Good. Other than that, I think the Western Allies are more or less fine. We do have some new units here. The another Australian corps so that is good to see. A heavy cruiser for the Americans. Let's place you, I guess, over here in San Francisco. We actually have heavy artillery for India. You should be in Karachi, so that you can start to move out once required. Good. All in all, that I think does settle it for the Allied move. We do have some points as the UK, though it's not an amazing amount. Is there anything that the UK could replace in terms of losses? There was the desert group, the desert reconnaissance group. I think we might have lost that for good. Special forces, armor trains, tanks. No. Doesn't seem to be anywhere. It doesn't even appear over here, so I'm not sure it is something that we can replace. Or would it be in Egypt? No, it's not Egypt. Transjordan, Sudan, no. Light cruiser, Malaya. No, none of that is remotely close to a desert reconnaissance group. So that is a pity. I really had hoped that we would be able to keep that. So what we are going to do instead is simply reinforce these maritime bombers. That should be dandy. And everything else over here is fine for the British. Could do some upgrades over here. But I'm not convinced that that is necessarily required. Could load up this artillery, but right now I'm not too sure where we'd actually move it. Potentially over here. Might not actually be too bad an idea. Okay, so let's... Oh, we can't transport you because you've just been deployed. So that is fine then. Don't see the need to spend these points right now, so that does leave us with the Americans. Any research that the Americans do need to do. Naval weaponry we are spending to get to number 2 over there. Fighters we can't do much more about. Tanks is fine. Command and control would be good, and infantry weapons would actually be dandy. So we are only spending 1. Oh no, we are at 1 out of 2. So we only need to be spending 1. Ground attack weapons, I appreciate that we're doing that. Mobility. Anti-submarine warfare might be nice, but it's not really required. So let's do industrial technology. I think the last spending point over here is nice, so that all of the other ones can enjoy that at least a little bit. And that should be fine. We could also spend a little bit more on amphibious warfare. Tech values, action points of all amphibious transports. Let's spend 1 more over here. I do expect that the war with Japan will be very gruesome. US is sitting at 75% mobilization, so that is nice to see. We could think about a little bit about diplomacy as well. Specifically Venezuela, I think, would be granting more resources towards the US. So at some point that might be nice, but for now I think we are good. I think the most important thing is the Soviet Union and trying desperately to stabilize that, which is proving to be very, very difficult. But yeah, all in all, we are making some progress over here. Very nice turn against the Italians over here. Sunk a lot of ships. That should reduce their national morale by quite a bit as well. But we can actually look at the reports on that. So let's look at the national morale. It's okay for the British. For the Soviets, it's kind of dipping low. I do hope for some event to the effect of the Great Patriotic War. Nationalist China should be very, very good. India is okay, of course. Germany still at a high point, 114. Italy then? 82, yeah, I think they are losing quite a bit over there. And Japan just dipping very, very, very rapidly down over there. And I think they should be even losing. Is Pyongyang a national morale objective? It's not, but still, they should be losing points as we go over here. Harbin will be a national morale objective, and Seoul will be. Haiku not so much. I would of course like to get Taiwan into the fold for us, but right now that's not necessarily required. Also, it's interesting to see that the supply route from the Dutch South East Indies just switched to Hanoi for the access over there. So indeed, once we do get Hanoi, I think we should be seeing that we are getting a little bit more from them. So that might also be decent. You know what? Actually, what I think what China could do is get even more garrisons. We can only get one more, so let's do that. Because we do need to guard all of these ports, so I think we will be, just needing a lot more of these things. Still, that should be fine. Very, very lovely. So, let's briefly look at the other reports then, since we do have a little bit of time. So, in particular, what I would like to see is MPPs, because there we can see the lost points on units and the spending on units. So you can see that UK didn't even manage to keep up on replacing the losses. But I'm mostly concerned about seeing that for the Germans and for the Soviet Union. Yeah, Soviet Union lost a lot of points over here, nearly 5,000. Germany lost many more points, 10,000, but not all of them in the last turns. It was done over a long, long time. Over the last turns it only lost... Well, when did the Soviet Union actually come into war? Let's look at that. So it was 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. 3 turns, and that is 4,800? 4, 3, yeah, that is... 2,000? 4,800? Okay. And the Germans have lost about, in this war with the Soviets, 1,000, 2,000, so... Yeah, they still have the upper hand, and they do that by a lot actually. And we are starting to lose some of these units over here. We did manage to take out a tank division over here and over there, but still, I mean, I can still spot 1, 2, 3, 4 tank divisions on the German side, plus all of their fighters, plus all of their bombers. So yeah. It's not going extremely great for us, I have to say. Could occupy these supply lines with a couple of capital ships. They wouldn't do too much, I believe, for us. So, yeah, I think we are fine for now. Do we have some tactical bombers? Maritime bombers? Maritime bombers. Okay, I think the tactical bombers we might have shifted down here. Right, so let's see how things turn out next time. How in particular the Germans are going to advance, especially into the Pripyat marshes over here, and whether we'll be able to stabilize the front at all, or whether we'll simply be overrun, especially in the north over here. Very, very concerned about that situation. But that has to wait until next time. For now, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.